So welcome everybody to this section. In this section, we're going to build a crypto market list app. So we're going to display all the cryptocurrencies with the current price, with the current change percentage, and also the symbol. See, if I just scroll through the whole app, I have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, BNB, USD coins. So all cryptocurrencies, and I also have information about this. So I have the symbol, I have the price change percentage, I have the current price, and also the shortcut. And so the main intention of this app is, so as you see, this is a really small app. So we're going to use a CoinGecko API. I'll show you the API in a moment, but the main intention of this app, so we're going to use the GetX state management in this app. So I really love the GetX state management, and we're going to build actually two apps with this GetX state management. But to get you into GetX, so I'm just building this small app to get you into GetX. That's why we're going to make this tiny little app getting cryptocurrencies, so to just display cryptocurrencies with GetX. So as a state manager, we're going to use GetX, and let me just show you the API of this. So the API we're going to use is the CoinGecko API, and this is pretty simple. We just have to get an API key, and we can just call this API with the coins list, the coins market. Yeah, can also the coin ID, history. We're going to get all the data, but yeah, I'm going to just use this much of data, and yeah, it's a pretty simple app. Will be a quick build. So yeah, so let me just see you in the coding tutorials. So hello everybody, and welcome to this section. So in this section, we're going to build a cryptocurrency list app. In this app, we're going to show all the cryptocurrency options, and I'm going to also show the price of it. We're going to show all the details of it. So I intentionally made this module at the end of this course. So of course we have another module. So in this module, we're going to use the GetX state management. In the next section also, we're going to use the GetX state management. I personally like the GetX state management. That's why I just made two sections out of it. So currently in Flutter community also, many people are using GetX. That's why I use GetX a lot. Personally, in my personal projects, I also use GetX a lot. So GetX is, to explain GetX, actually we have to build some projects. That's why I made two projects. And to just give you a basic idea, GetX also works like this. We have our UI, and we can differentiate our UI with our state. So we're going to create some controllers where we have all the state, and we can just connect the state with our UI. So GetX of course also has lots of other features like opening dialogues, navigating. So in Flutter you would write navigator.push, material page route, and so on, but with GetX you can just say get.to or get.back. I'm going to just show you in the next module, but in this module we're going to just particularly concentrate on the state, and in the next module we're going to use some other GetX features. So let's actually just start building out the app without wasting time on talking. So if I just talk and talk, you won't understand, right? So if you just build a practical project with this GetX, you will understand how the state management works. So let's just get into that. So I created a new folder named crypto, and I created a Flutter project also. Here I have my default Flutter app, right? So the packages I got, we're going to use three packages. The first package, we're going to use the get package. So this get package, with this package we're going to use the GetX state management. And I also have this Google Fonts package as always to just use my custom fonts. And I have HTTP to actually parse some API data. So we're going to get the crypto data from an API. So that's why we have to use this HTTP package. So after getting all the packages, let's actually start building out the UI of our home screen. So I'm going to just do some basic cleanup here. Let me just delete everything and close this material app. Okay, perfect. Let's give a home for this. So the home is going to be a home screen. So I have to actually create the screen. Let me just create a new folder out of all my screens. So I'll just create a new folder where I'll have all my screens. So I'm just using some clean folder structure. So let me just call this home screen dot. I'm going to import Flutter here. I'm going to create a stateless widget because I'm going to use the GetX state management. That's why I'm using a stateless widget. So I can just use this home screen. Let me just delete this key thing here, and I can just import home screen. Perfect. Let's also disable the debug show check mode banner. So I can just say debug show check mode banner is false. When I save everything, I think I'll have a black container because I'm returning a container in the home screen, right? There you go, I have a black container. Now we can just build on this home screen. So the first thing is actually give a background color. So I'm going to give some kind of a gray color. To give background colors and to use the child and everything, we have to use a scaffold, right? So let's have a scaffold at the root of this whole screen. I'm gonna say the background color of the scaffold. I'm gonna use the color class to give a custom color. So the color I'm gonna give is, I already have the hex code for this, so it is 494F55, and let's just const. Let me just save everything, and we should have this background color. There you go, perfect. This is what I wanted, like kind of black and gray mixed. And let's also give a body for this. So the body is going to be a single child scroll view, actually, because I want to scroll through the whole app and I don't want this dex errors, right? So I'll say single child scroll view. And in the single child scroll view, I'm going to have a column because I'll have elements beneath each other. So I'll say child is going to be a column with multiple children. So the first child is going to be just a normal text. So I'll say text is going to be crypto. So it is going to be a title of our screen. So crypto market. Let's give a style for this. So the style I'm going to create, as always, a new function. So I'll just create a new file named utils where I'll have all my utils. Utils.dart. I can import Flutter here. I don't actually need Flutter, I guess. I don't think I need this, so I'll just say text style. So I need Flutter text style, and now we can just create this function. So this takes in a double of size, it takes in a color, and it also takes a font weight. I can just call FW. I can just close this, and so I'm going to use the Google Fonts, right? So I'll say return Google Fonts.Montserrat, and the font size for this is going to be size. Let me just import this Google Fonts package. There you go. So I like this Montserrat font, that's why I'm using this. So font size, I'm going to use this parameter, and the color for this is going to be a color, and the font weight is going to be FW. Perfect. So I can just use this text style function wherever I want without using so much of code. So I can just import this text style function, and let me just give a font size. So the font size I'm going to give is 25 pixels should be enough. And for the color, I can just say colors.white. Let's also give a font weight. So font weight, I'll say font weight.bold. Let me just format everything, also save everything, and we should see a crypto market text, like a title at the top of the whole screen. So there you go, crypto market, we have the title, perfect. So now let's continue working on this. Let's actually give some padding to this, right? So let's wrap this whole single child scroll view actually into a padding so that we can give some padding. So I'm going to just wrap this with the padding, and I'm going to say edge insets.only. So from the left side give 20 pixels, from the right side 20 pixels, and from the top give 60 pixels. So I just want to give a padding for this whole single child scroll view. There you go, crypto market, perfectly positioned. And after giving some padding, let's create the list view builder. I'd actually not happy with this padding. Let me just say 50 from the top. It just depends on the screen, right? Okay, there you go, perfect. Now let's actually give a list view builder. So we'll have a list of crypto items down here after this title. So after this text, let me create a list view.builder, which just provides all the crypto list or all the cryptocurrency options. So for the list view.builder, it automatically builds everything, right? It's like a for loop widget. So we just have to provide the items, and we also have to provide what we want to build as a widget. So let's actually say item count for now, let's say 10. And as we are putting a list view builder into a column, we also have to say shrink wrap is true, and physics is never scroll physics, because I already have this single child scroll view, right? So that's why I don't need any scroll physics here in this list view.builder, or else we'll have some scrolling errors. That's why I'm doing this. So I'm gonna just give some scroll physics for the single child scroll view, and I'm gonna say never scrollable physics for a list view.builder. Okay, perfect. And on the item builder, we have to build something. For now, I'll just say return container, and I just want to save everything. That's why I'm just returning nothing here. I'm returning a container, and we have some kind of error, argument type container can't present. widget function. Okay, in the item builder I just forgot it, right? For a list view builder we also have to say context, and we also said the int, like the index. We're gonna get an index, so then we can build the items depending on the index. Let me just save everything, and we won't have anything because we're just returning a container. And the problem also here, crypto market is not here at the left side, so let's go to the column and say cross-axis alignment. Let's actually just align everything at the start. So I say cross-axis alignment dot start. This should be good. Now let's continue working in our list builder. So what do we have in our list builder? We have a card, right? We have the image of the cryptocurrency, we have the title, like what cryptocurrency is it, and then we also have some details of it, and I think we also have the price percentage and so on. We're going to get the data from the API, we'll see it later on. For now, let's just hard code the data without doing it dynamically, but later on of course we're going to get the data from the API. So here I have a return container, and let me just give a width. So just take the whole width, media query dot of context dot size dot width. Perfect. The height is going to be 60 pixels, and the child of this is going to be a row because all the elements are aligned next to each other. And in the row I can say I have multiple children, so the first child is going to be a container with the image. Okay, so I'm going to have the image of the crypto, and then I also have the name next to it. So let's actually also give some alignments for this row. So I'll say main axis alignment is main axis alignment dot space between. So the children, so the first child is going to be a container as always. So the container, and the container is going to have a width and also a height. We can also decorate this whole container. So I'll say box decoration. So I'm going to just have some shadows, so I'm going to have a shadow effects for this whole app. That's why I'm using this gray color. So I use a gray color to give some shadows, and also use some box shadows. So let's say color is colors.gray 700. So let me just say gray, and then let's also give a border radius for this. So the border radius is border radius dot circular. 50 pixels should be sufficient. And after this box decoration, in the box decoration itself, I think, yeah, after this decoration I'll also have a box shadow, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it is actually in here in the decoration itself. We have to say box shadow, we have to provide a list. So I'm going to just have one box shadow to have some shadows. The color is going to be again a gray color, colors.gray 700, and let's use this mark so that it's just some null safety error things. And after that I'll use an offset. So the offset, I'm going to say const offset is 4 and 4. Now we also have to say blur radius. Let's say actually, so how much shadow we want to give, let's actually just say 5. I don't want that much of shadows, so I'll just say 5. You can just change it depending on how much shadow you want. So this offset is actually just how big it should be, and it's just the color. Now when I save everything, we'll have a container with some shadow. There you go, we have these little containers with some shadows. And let's also provide some space between these containers, right? So to provide it, let's actually here go and return a padding, and let's say edge instance dot only. From the bottom I want to give kind of like 15 pixels. Let's save everything. Yeah, there you go, perfect. So we have this. Okay, now in the container, so in this containers we're gonna have an image. Okay, let's say after this box decoration, the child of this container is gonna be image. So I'm gonna say the child of this is going to have a padding, because I'm going to wrap everything with a padding. So let's provide a padding first of all. I can just say const edge instance dot all, from all sides give 10 pixels of padding, and a child of this is going to be a network image. So I'm going to say image dot network, and I have to provide some image. So I'm going to just get the image from the internet. I'm just copying it. Let me just paste it over here. So this is just an image which the cryptocurrency API provides us for the Bitcoin crypto. Now when I save it, we'll have a Bitcoin image. There you go, perfect. This is what I wanted. Okay, so the image is working, and next to it now we'll have a title. Okay, after this image we'll have a title, and also to show some information about this. So let's here say 20 pixels. I want more spacing. Yeah, this should be enough. Now let's create a text. So after this image, let's say after this container itself, let's provide a width. Okay, so const sized box, I'll have a width of 20 pixels, should be good. And then now I'll have a column. In the row itself I'll have a column with 2 children. So the first child is going to be a name of this whole crypto. Like I want a name, right? So it could be Bitcoin, but it also could be something else. So we have to provide a name. Let's give a text widget, and let me just say Bitcoin for now, but later on, as I said, I'll get the data from the API, and depending on that I'll provide the name. So the style is going to be a text style function again. I'll say 18 pixels of size, and the color I will just use a white color because we're on a gray background color, right? So I'll say colors.white, and the font weight could be font weight.w600. Perfect. Let me just save everything, and we should have this Bitcoin. There you go. And let's also align the whole column. So I'll say cross-axis alignment is cross-axis alignment dot start. And after this text image, so beneath this text image, I'll have the price in percentage. So price of a change in a percentage. So for now, let's say 10%. And I can just say this could be colors.gray, and the font weight w600. Okay, there you go, 10%, and then Bitcoin 10%. Now after this column we'll have another column, so I can just copy this whole column, and next to this column I can just paste this column. So it's cross-axis alignment dot end this time, because it should be aligned at the end. And this time this is not the name, but it should be the current price. So what is the price, current price? So it could be $200, right? And to put a dollar we have to use this escape symbol, and I have to put a dollar symbol, or else it will just confuse it with the string interpolation. Now when I save everything, I should see $200. So there you go. Colors.white is good. W600 is also good. And here I want a symbol. Okay, what is the symbol of this? So I can just say BI for now, but later on I get the data from the API. I can save this also. There you go, perfect. But actually this is, everything is not aligned good, right? I have to align everything perfectly. So my plan is actually to give a row. So I have to create a row. This Bitcoin, this 10% should be next to this symbol, and they should be at the end. So what I have to do is, I just forgot it at the beginning, I have to wrap this row. So I have a row, and in that row I want a separate row, and then I want this whole widget with the $200 and the BI. So what I want to do, I'm going to just wrap this container into a row, and in this row I'll also put this column. So this column, I put this in the child row. We have 2 rows in a row. I could also have a row, right? It's perfectly fine. Now when I save this, there you go, this is what I wanted to achieve. This is perfect. So this is what I wanted. And let's also see if we have to do something. So we have the size box. So let's actually also provide some spacing from the column here. Let's say const sized box. The height could be 10 pixels. Let's also provide the size box for this. I just want some spacing from the top. There you go. This is perfect. Everything's perfectly aligned. Now we actually created a UI for the home screen, and in the next section, or in the next video, we're gonna actually do some API data handling. So we're gonna get the data from the API, and we have to show the API data into our UI. So okay guys, after building out the UI of the home screen, let's actually work with our API. Okay, we're gonna get all the data from this API, and the API we're gonna use is the CoinGecko API. You have to go to this URL, and if you click on the explore docs, we will see a detailed documentation where we can also test this out here. We can just try it out if we want. So we're going to use this API. We're going to go to coins, and then we're going to go to the markets, and the currency I want it in a euro. So I'll just say EUR, and Sparkline is false, 100, market cap in descending order. So let me just execute this and we'll get all the data. Let me just wait. There you go, we got all the data for the API. So first of all, let's actually copy this URL. But before copying this URL, I actually want to create a JSON model to parse the API better, right? So what I want to do is I'm going to just copy here everything. So I can just click on this copy and I can go to this app.quicktime.io website. So I really like this website. It just converts everything into the JSON. If you just put out to JSON, it will just convert everything into a like desired language JSON. So I can just say an open QuickType, and then here what we can do is we can just select the language. I already selected it, so the language is Dart, and we can just paste all the data here. So I can just paste everything here. I just pasted it, and the name is coin. I can just give a name for this whole model. There you go, coin, and it just parsed everything for me, right? So in Dart you would have to write this.id, this.symbol, but I just have to paste the JSON data here and it'll just create us models for this. It also creates JSON models, it also creates list JSON models, and everything will just do it for us. Okay, so I'm going to just copy this here and go to my code. I'm going to create a model. So I'm going to create in the lib folder a new folder named models, new file model.dart, and I can just paste everything here. So the problem is, but I want to actually delete something. I don't need some value. So first of all, we have to actually say required. So the parameter ID can't have a value of null because of this type, but the implement default value is null. So I just have to say required here for everything. I just have to say required. So what, you know what, we'll just take this and say change all occurrences, required this.name. Oh perfect, this was just a clean, this was so clean, right? So let me just delete this and just to put everything in required because of this null safety errors. Okay, required this.symbol, perfect. And I also want to delete some things. I don't want some things. Okay, so the things I want to delete is, so first of all we have, let's go up. So let's come from here. So we have the ID, we have the symbol, we have the name, we have the image, we have the current price, we have the market cap, we have the market cap rank, we have the total volume, but I don't want this fully deleted valuation. I'll just delete this. I have the total volume, I have the high 24, low 24, price change percentage, market cap change percentage, circulating supply. I have this total supply and max supply. I don't want these two things also. This dot ATH change percentage, ATH date, ATL change percentage, ATL date, and also don't want this whole last updated thing. So I can just also delete this one, and yeah, now I have everything. I can just format everything. So I think, yeah, I also have to delete this here, this one, and I can also delete this here. So I'm just deleting some values which I don't want. You can just delete this to these two. Okay, perfect. And we have to use this Roy class also. I don't have this class. Let me just copy this class here and paste it over here. Okay, and I also need to copy these things. I just forgot it. I need these things also, right? Oh, perfect. So we have some errors. So what I'll do, I'll just say this is going to be a dynamic value, and up there require this.roy dynamic value, and for passing the JSON I can just say JSON roy. I don't need these things. And for the other things, so here roy is actually just, yeah, roy is equal to roy. I don't need these null check errors. because it's just a dynamic value. It could also be null if it wants. So I'll just save everything, and this is our coin model. Okay, so I just created a coin model. I know it's a lots and lots of parameters, but it had to be because the API is going to give us lots of values. That's why, yeah, just use this website app.quicktype.io. You just have to paste in your JSON data and it will just parse into dot models. So now I can use the dot models in my API. So when I get the API, I can just format it into the coin model and then I can get it back easily. So I'll just show you what I mean with this coin model, why using this coin model is really good in the next section. So okay, after creating a UI of the home screen and also creating a coin model, now let's actually work with our state management with our GetX, right? So let's create a new folder with our controllers. So I'll say controllers, and I'll create a new controller. I can just name this coin controller, and here we'll get the data from the API and parse it into a list with some GetX features. So I'm gonna use a pre-snippet here. I can just say get controller and I can just name it, I just name it coin controller. So that's why I use a snippet, so it extends the GetX controller. I'm going to delete everything here, and now first of all I'm going to have a list of coins, right? So I have a list of these coins and I can name this coins list, and this is just going to be a coin list. So I can just initialize this like this, and let's import coin with our coin model. But the problem is we are working with GetX, right? So we're going to have some streams and we're going to have some reactive values. So for using the reactive list, so this list should be reactive. When I have some data, I have to just parse some items to this list. That's why I'm going to use the RX list, which GetX actually provides us. So this RX list is, you can see it just creates a list similar to the normal list, but it's just reactive. That's why its name's RX. To make this a RX list, I just have to say .obs to make it reactive, and now I can just create a new function named fetch coins. It will fetch all the coins, and so first of all we have to get the response, right? So I'll say var response, and there should be a async function because it will take some time to get all the coins. So I'll say await, and let's also import HTTP. So I'll say HTTP, import HTTP as HTTP. I can say await HTTP dot get, and I have to pass in the URL. So the URL, we can go here, we can just check it out here, right? This was our URL. I can just copy this, paste it over here. Whoa, not this. I think I didn't copy it correctly. Okay, now it's copied. Now let's paste it over here. Perfect. But I think we'll get some errors. Okay, we got an error. We'll get some errors because this was the old method. We can say http.get, we just have to pass in the string, but now we also have to call something like a URI.parse. So it's going to parse the whole URL into a URI. It's just a new method to do this. I can just, okay, this now perfectly. So now with this method, we're going to just we're going to make a get request to the API with this URL, and we're saying get all the coins. So we'll get a response, and we have to actually parse this response. So I can say list coin, the type of coin, and I can just name this coins is coin from JSON. So I can use the from JSON method, which we actually created with the QuickType website, right? So the QuickType.io website. Let's go to coin model. I'll show you. So this coin.from JSON, so it will get some JSON data and pass it to a coin. Okay, so we just have to pass in here the JSON data. Here this is response.body, so this is the body of it. It is the JSON, and now we have all the coins, and we can just now provide all the coins to our RX list, coins list. So we just have to say coins list dot value is equal to coins. So this is how we do it. Okay, perfect. So we got all the coins, and we're getting the coins. We're converting the JSON data into a coins list, and we're also saying take the whole coins and pass it to my RX list. So we have to say dot value because this is an RX list. That's why we have to say dot value. And after getting all the coins, now in the next video we're gonna actually just display all the coins into our UI. So we created a coin controller with GetX. So this is how GetX works. You just have to extend it with a GetX controller, and after getting all the coins, we can just pass this whole coins into our app UI. So in the last section, we actually just got the data from the API, and we also parsed it into an RX list. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually just take the whole data and put it into our UI. Okay, so let's go to home screen, and to actually inject the state into our UI, you just have to say here, let's create a final coin controller, and I can just say controller. Yeah, I'm gonna just name it, I can just say controller, and to inject it we can just say get dot put, and now we have to just say coin controller. You just put this whole coin controller, so inject the state of this coin controller into our whole UI. Perfect. Okay, so now we injected the state into our UI, and here in the list view.builder, let's actually wrap this into something called an OBX. So OBX takes in reactive values, so it also comes with Flutter, I mean with GetX. So I can say OBX, and I just have to say to open the brackets and return a list view.builder. So the OBX, it just takes in reactive values, right? So it gives some reactive values. We have to provide an RX list, and now it's gonna, depending on the state, it's going to just change it to a list view builder, or it's just going to give us the values. So if you're using reactive values in GetX, you're going to use the OBX. And in the next videos, I think in the next module where we'll build something else with GetX, we'll also use other widgets which GetX provides, but for now we'll use the OBX. And here what we can do is list view.builder. Right now let's go to coin controller, and it will also take some time to get the data, right? And in the meanwhile, that's why we're going to show a boolean. So we're going to show a circular progress indicator. So I'm going to create a RX bool, and I'm going to just name it is loading is equal to true.obl. And here I can use a try finally block. So I'll say try finally block. So I'm going to try this. So try this. And the finally section, you can just say is loading is going to be false. So if you got all the data, it's going to be false, and at the beginning it should be true, right? So let's do this here. This should be true. Okay, good. Here in the OBX, I have list view.builder, and I have the coin controller, so I'm fetching all the coins. So the problem is, when are we going to use this function? We are never using this function fetch coins, right? So at the starting of the controller, so if we initialize the controller, so at the beginning of the controller, we're going to actually use this function fetch coins. So that's why I'm going to say on init. So this on init function also GetX provides. So in the controllers, I have to override this, put some spacing, and here I'm going to say super.onInit. And let's say void on init, and here I'm going to just use the fetch coins function. Okay, the fetch coins function, I'm going to call this fetch coins function in the onInit function at the beginning of the initialization. So if we actually create this controller at the beginning of this controller, I can use this fetch coins function. So we got the whole data, so we're going to actually call the fetch coins function at the initialization of the controller, but we are never showing the data into a UI, right? So let's go to home screen, and here in the OBX, so if the controller, so let's use the controller, if the controller dot is loading dot value, get the value out of it, if it is true, then show in the center a circular progress indicator. So I'll say child circular progress indicator. Where is my circular progress indicator? Yeah, there you go, this here. Or I'll show a list view.builder. So if the is loading is false, then show a list view.builder, but if it's true, then show a circular progress indicator. Let me just save everything. It could take some time because we wrote lots of new code. So I saved everything. There you go. It just injected this whole crypto market. Let me also just do a full restart. Let me actually do a full restart. Then we can see the whole updates. We can actually also open the terminal and we'll see it. There you go. Instance coin controller has been created. Instance coin controller has been initialized. So we initialized it. We have a circular progress indicator. There you go. And now we got all the data. but we're just showing some hard-coded values, right? We have to show the data which we got from the API. So to do that, I can also do it here. So here, instead of saying this image like this, I can just say coin, like the controller, right? So the controller dot coins list, and depending on the index, so index, take the index and just say dot image. Perfect. So we got the image, and here, instead of saying the name of this, I can just say controller dot coins list, and depending on the index, because this is a list view builder, and we have all the values which we can access. So I think this is the name of this, or we have, yeah, do we have a name? Yeah, there you go, the name of this. And then afterwards, this is the price change exchange thingy, right? Let's do a string interpolation, because we're gonna have a value into a string dot, I think it was dot change percentage, or price change percent 24 hours. Yeah, this is one, but this one I want. So then we'll also show the percentage. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So we have the percentage, and let's also show down here the actual price, or the current price. Again, do a string interpolation, controller dot coins list index, it's just, yeah, current price, or price, current price. Okay, perfect. And now we also have the symbol, right? So the symbol, we can also do it like this. We can say coins list, or actually, first of all, controller dot coins list index is symbol. So just show the symbol of this, and let me just save everything, and we should see all the data. So all the data which we're getting from the API. Boom, there you go, guys. Bitcoin, we have the price, we have the Ethereum Bitcoin, and like Ethereum crypto, and the price for it. We also have the percentage, but this is too long, right? So I just want to round it up into 2 digits. So to do that, I can just convert it to a string as fixed, and the fraction digits are 2. Now when I save this, I'll only have 2 rounded values. There you go, 1.36, and I don't want this, like, I don't want this big number. Okay, now in the current price also, I want to do something. So current price dot round, and we have the symbol, the string fixed percentage. Let me just save everything. There you go, we have the price, and let's also convert the symbol into uppercase values. Okay, so I'll say dot symbol dot to uppercase. Let me save everything. There you go, BTC ETH, everything is in uppercase. So yeah, I think we finished, right? So we got all the data from the API. We are showing it to a list view builder, and this is how GetX works. We just have to create a controller, the GetX controller. We can just use the on function to execute any things at the beginning of this controller. There we are executing this function fetch coins. We're getting all the coins from the data from the API. We're using a get method, and then converting every JSON data into a coin model, into a list of coins. Then we are just passing it to our coins list, and in the home screen we're just injecting the state into our whole UI. So here with get.put, then I can use this controller variable to just access the coins list, and yeah, the index.image, it just works really efficiently. Everything is perfect. Yeah, that's it for this whole module, guys. I hope you learned something. So we just learned how to parse some API data with this quick type IO thing, and then we also learned some basic GetX, but in the next module you learn more of GetX, more features of GetX and everything. Yeah, that's it for this module. Let me just see you in the next module.